Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about Paymasters. Paymasters are smart contracts that allow you to do one thing: abstract away the gas from your end user. And there's two ways you can do that using the Paymaster service from Biconomy. At Biconomy, we support two flows. One is to simply sponsor the gas for the end user, meaning you would fill up your Paymaster kind of like a gas tank, and funds would be subtracted from that gas tank to pay for the gas fees on behalf of your user. Two, instead of paying for the gas on behalf of the user, allow the end user to pay for gas using any ERC20 token of their choice. Both of these are possible today, and we're going to show you specifically how to do this with ERC20 tokens today. But first of all, what type of dApps might actually benefit from this? Well, from the sponsorship side, if you want to pay on behalf of your end user, maybe you want to do a free NFT mint, maybe you have a social app, and you don't want every single transaction to be something that the end user has to worry about paying for gas fees, right? These are little friction points that you can remove from the UX of your dApp today using the sponsorship Paymaster. However, in some apps, like DeFi apps, where the end user is already going to be transacting using certain tokens, or maybe in games where they may be transacting using in-game currency, you may want to allow them instead to pay for the gas using that specific token. So in this specific example, we're going to go over how an end user can use USDC to pay for a simple swap on Uniswap. Let's get started here. I'm going to hit this Connect to Web3 button, and I'm just going to log in. One of the cool things with the Biconomy SDK is you can use different signers to log in and create your own smart account. The cool thing here, we're using Particle Auth. There's quite a few different options for what you can use to log in, different social options, including even Microsoft, Twitter, Discord, LinkedIn. Sky's the limit here. I'm going to go ahead and actually just use the good old email one. I'm going to get a one-time password and log in with that. Okay, so now that I'm logged in, I'm going to go ahead and check out my wallet. You'll see that I've gone ahead and created an in-dApp UI for my wallet, for my smart account, and I've got some funds here already. I've got some wrapped Ether, some USDC, and I've got Nomadic, even though I am on the Polygon mainnet right now. If I didn't have any funds, I can use this Buy Crypto button and do some fiat onboarding, but that's not the important part here. What I want to showcase is the fact that I have Nomadic, but I'm going to be swapping USDC for some additional ETH. So go ahead and do one USDC, keep it simple, hit swap. And you'll see that swapping is happening in the background. Confirm my transaction. And now, swapping will go ahead and happen here for me. And we'll see that the successful transaction has now gone through. Let's take a look at the transaction. We can see here that I was able to actually get my wrapped Ether, and I traded in one USDC coin for that wrapped Ether. You'll also see a different swap actually happen for 0.05 cents of USDC. That was actually for my gas payment. If we look at the logs, we can actually see that some approvals happened. So I'm approving the ability to transfer my tokens, approve and transfer. The approve and transfer happens in two different places. One, for the actual payment of the gas, and two, for my actual swap. The cool thing is that I only did a single signature for both the approval and the swap. So every single time I do the approve and swap, I simply batch the transactions together into one signature and don't have to worry about signing two times in order to do one simple swap. Now, if we wanted to switch this over from ERC20 gas payments over to gasless transactions, pretty simple. All you would have to do is go into the code and change the mode of the Paymaster over to sponsored rather than ERC20. That's it. Now let's take a look at how to create a Paymaster and do some customization on it. We're going to head to dashboard.biconomy.io, click Add Paymaster. We'll name it Demo Video. Choose a network. I'll go ahead and actually choose Polygon Mumbai. and I'll just use the latest version. So I'm going to register. And from here, I'll see that I have some Paymaster details, my API keys, my Paymaster URL, and everything that I need to set up in the code. You'll see that on the mode for my Paymaster, ERC20 is automatically enabled. That's because you don't necessarily need to set up anything to actually use the ERC20 service. All you have to do is specify that in the code. But right now, sponsored transactions are not enabled. Let's go ahead and enable that. I'm going to go ahead and enter my gas tank. One thing when you set up your gas tank, you'll see that only this account is going to be allowed to withdraw funds from the gas tank. So the account that you set this up with. Go ahead and click I understand, set up gas tank. I'm going to hit sign. And great, now our gas tank is set up. Let's go to deposit. I'm going to go ahead and deposit 2 Matic in here. Hit confirm. Great. My deposits are all good to go. Now let's take a look at policies. The first thing I can do is add smart contracts that I want to actually enable for sponsorship. I'll go ahead and click add your first contract. I'm going to paste in a smart contract here. This is just a contract I have from before. It's just a simple NFT contract. And you'll see that all of my write methods were actually automatically populated here. As long as your smart contract address has been verified, you'll be able to choose any of these right from this list. If it is not verified, you will have to manually add in your API into this field. We'll just name this NFT. We'll add the smart contract. Great. Now, you'll see that this specific function, the SafeBin function, is authorized to be sponsored by the smart contract. Let's take a look at some additional things. We have limits. Here we can add limitations for how we want to sponsor the end user's gas payments. We have a sponsor wallet deployment limitation here. What this means is the very first transaction that a user does, on that transaction, their wallet actually has to be deployed because it is a smart contract account. Now, maybe you only want that very first transaction to be sponsored. Just that first transaction to get them started on whatever they're doing, as well as deploy their smart account. Set that to be true. And that's it. Now, only the very first deployment transaction will actually be sponsored. Let's turn that off. Maybe you want to add in your own special logic for how to sponsor different transactions. Maybe you have some off-chain logic that you want to introduce. You can register a webhook and follow our documentation on webhooks to add in your own customized logic for sponsoring different transactions as well. This is totally up to you and totally up to some backend server that you have that might be running some code to validate different transactions. And that is our Paymaster service in a nutshell. We can't wait to see what you build using this service. Thank you.